the market takes us as we open up here at all-time highs. So we are way up here after a little bit of a hiccup this morning. As you can see, bond market too, both of them. Something happened there at 5:30 in the morning that probably something from Europe, maybe their interest rates, a little clarification on their interest rates, but whatever situation was, it did create a little bit of a hiccup situation in our markets. And we're here at all-time highs. So let's give you our levels for this morning, and be careful. Any level on the upside, pretty much, it's not as strong as some of the other levels that we have, but so trade them accordingly and keep your stops in place. We have 42.35 is our pivot. Resistance above at 42, 48, 55, 65, and 74. And support on the downside at 31, 24, 18, 12, and 07. And pivot 35, support 31, 24, 18, 12, and 07. Resistance on the upside of 42, 48, 55, 65, and 74. All right, welcome some of the new folks that are here. We are trading mini S&Ps. We gave out these levels as a guide to the day of trading futures, equity futures to be exact. And we use technical analysis for finding our setups. These support and resistance levels, in addition to price action opportunities that occur once market paints some bars, gives us the things to look for, the opportunities to look for when we're trading. And that way we can stay focused and have a game plan every day when we start to trade. So keep that in mind if you're trading. And again, whatever the situation may be, make sure your stops are in place, as we don't love every level or trade every level the same. There's obviously some more opportunities, some more levels that are a little bit stronger than others, and you have to find those opportunities that fit your mind's eye, and also you can recognize and trade accordingly. So these are to start out with, and then we add to them, subtract from them, and adjust them. Valerie, welcome. If you want to ask a question, just put it in the chat box area, and I will be able to answer your question. You don't have to raise your hand. We are very informal around here. As we quickly come down to our 31 area. So yeah, if there's a question, just put it in the chat box area as I have that window up. We'll be able to answer any questions that you have. The market trades off of our trades off of our 31 level. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Put them in the chat box area. I have that window up. So if you bring the chat up and just type in whatever questions you may have, and just make sure it says to panelists, only Brad and I see them, so you don't have to worry about anything. So again, just if you have any questions, put them in the chat box area. I can see that quicker. I'll be able to answer you faster. As the market kind of breaks off here after this little hiccup, and whatever happened this morning, I have no idea, but coming down here a little bit, working this 31 area, like I said. And we got 28 down below is our green band. Can we repeat or post the levels again, please? There we are. Those are the levels for you. Again, you're working the 31 area here. Maybe you got in at the lower end, trying to see what it wants to do. Kind of a little bounce here. Maybe we get something, maybe we don't. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what happened at 5 o'clock this morning that created that volatility. I'm looking around to see if we can find anything in the market and news reports that I can see here. Like I said, it's probably had to do with European market, the their version of the FOMC, being released, and or what they're going to do with interest rates. So we'll see what it wants to do. Again, if you're here and you see the market trading and you don't like the price action, you can always adjust. We don't have to love every level. You don't have to like the reaction at a certain level. If you're looking for something and you don't get it, you have choices besides having to keep your stop in place. You don't necessarily have to get stopped out if you don't like the price action around the level. And again, everybody's got different risk tolerances here, so there's not one right or wrong way. You have to find the right combination of risk, how many contracts you're going to trade, how you perceive markets are trading around an area, and then make those determinations on your own and be able to act upon them accordingly. Then again, that's all individualized thing. We work with everybody individually to help them maximize their profits. So that's what we try to do here. As we're working this 31, it's not giving us, it's holding, but not giving us the reaction we're looking for. So again, if you got in the lower end, maybe you take some profits here and just be done with it. And then we'll see and wait for our next opportunity down below at 24. Again, we have a lot of, this is summer months now. We're getting into the summer months, so we have to be a little bit careful and know that we're not going to get that many opportunities to trade unless there's some news that comes out, right? That's always a possibility. And we'll see what happens, right? We don't know when there's going to be news and there isn't going to be news. We just have to be a little bit patient and then take each day as it comes and go from there. The market continues to downtick here. We're looking at the 24 area. Remember, we said we don't like the reaction at that level above, so maybe you made a little bit of an adjustment. I don't know. Let's see here. All right. So as far as I can see, I can't find any reason why it did hiccup there at 5:30 in the morning. Like I said, I think the only plausible explanation is what I said about Europe and their decision probably on interest rates or something related to that, because you can see what happened there in the bond market too. Let's see, there is no economic reports this morning, so kind of a quiet. That's not a surprise. As we drift down to our green band here, see what it wants to do around this little level. It's kind of slow. That is what it is. So let's see. There's not even that much in the news as far as like markets are concerned. This is like kind of a little quiet day. There wasn't much of a movement in the U.S. stock market. Futures overnight followed a mix of session on Monday that saw heavy volumes once again to the meme stocks. Shares of AMC, BlackBerry, GameStop all popped by double digits and are edging up again pre-market today. Meanwhile, the SEC is watching the ongoing volatility in the market for disruptions, manipulative trading, and other misconduct. Oh, really? And vowed to protect retail investors. Oh, yeah. Okay. Thanks for the heads up. Market coming back down up here to, again, if you didn't, we had our green band there to help us if you were looking for a backup. And coming back up here to the 31. So if you still have them, or if you averaged out a little bit, maybe you're getting out here. Yeah, it is what it is. Sometimes you gotta just see what the market's doing and react to it, like I said earlier. Other traders are staying on the sidelines before the latest inflation figures on Thursday. Economists expect CPI to surge by another 4.7% year to year, after rising 4.2% on an annualized basis in April. The latter figure marked the fastest expansion in the index since 2008, the 4.2 from last month, as analysts debate whether inflation will stick around and its related impact on the economy. So that is the issue there with interest rates, right? And inflation, which is again the catalyst for, that's what people are looking at. But again, you can say whatever you want to say, and what they can say whatever they want to say about inflation and how it's affecting on the market, and we're here at all-time highs. So take it like with a grain of salt, that's for sure. Again, anybody have any questions, comments, whatever, put them in the chat box area. I'd like to answer them, especially when things are kind of slow. Again, we're right here at the 31. If you didn't get out before, just kind of giving you a chance here to exit. Maybe you got in against our 28 there, back up, a little back up there. If you did, then you're doing okay. Again, everybody trades a little bit differently, so I'm not saying what the right thing or the wrong thing is. I'm just kind of throwing ideas out there, and we try to maximize those ideas for you when we work with you in our education package that we have with the methodology that we teach. But it is kind of slow. I mean, I hate to say this, but it is kind of slow. The good about inflation. So the current spike is being driven by an unprecedented role of outliers, said economist for Goldman Sachs. All this suggests that the Fed officials can stick with their plan to exit only very gradually from easing current policy stance. In their March forecast, the Fed projected that despite clearly achieving all their long-term economic goals by the end of 2023, they did not foresee any increase in the federal funds rate before 24. If, after reassessing their forecast for the economy next week, the Fed maintains the extraordinary dovish stance, and the risk of a boom-busted recession will have increased to a substantial degree. Interesting. Everybody's got their opinion, right? This is what makes the world go around. Is that a song? I think it is. What the hell are stocks? Are meme stocks? Those are those stocks that are going crazy, right? That's what those stocks are. Those BlackBerry, AMC, GME, GameStop. Those are those. That's what they call meme. Who the hell knows what the hell they are? Yeah, I bet you want some of those. Go ahead, jump in. The water's lukewarm. I'm sure it's just beginning. Go ahead, knock your socks out. Tell me when you got a winning trade on those. Hey, they, at least that, what was it, AMC? At least they started selling stock. They ended up putting some cash in their banks because they sold a lot of that stock. So if they sold a lot of that stock to some people who bought it, What are the people who bought it doing with that stock? Oops. I don't know. I don't understand this, and it's about time that the SEC decided to do something about it and look into it. Uh, so to protect the retail customer, that's you and me. Yeah, okay. All right. Again, they kind of pulled the plug on this baby kind of fast. Not so bad. Not surprising either. As you can see, the bonds here, the 158 handle, but that's the SEP contract. And that, if I'm not mistaken, let's see what the yield is on those 10s. It's got to be less than 1.4 maybe. Let me see. Yield on the 10 is down to 1.5. Oh, this was taken early. 1.56. Okay. Maybe we're going there. You know what? Yeah, I mean, we could be going down to retest that spike, but you know what? These market, I think whatever created that spike, I don't know. Definitely interest rate related, and they thought it was bad initially because they pushed it down and then came back up. So I don't know. I mean, it's sitting out there. It looks like it wants to go retest that spike down there at the 12. So, you know, it's there. We have it. If it gets there, fine. If it doesn't, oh, there you go. There, Don's jumping in there with our. Don't worry, he's not taking over your job. He told me while you weren't here the other day of how to do this, and I was like, it was too many. Had to control V, control C, control P, control whatever. He was just playing. He was showing me how to do this thing. And I was like, okay, well, you just do keep doing it for me. I appreciate it. So he's just like jumping in here to make sure he's got it figured out too. Don't worry, he's not taking over your job. Don, you're scaring him. Well, we are kind of just chopping here a little, bouncing around here. No, listen. Don also said that you should have one headset for your daughter and one headset for you, so that that's not an excuse anymore. He might send you a whole truckload of headsets right from Texas, right to your house. All right, we're kind of on the lows again. We're looking at the 24 areas, the next good level of support that we have. Don, Mark wants to know that if you take over his job, can he file for unemployment? There you go. There's your answer. Seems like everybody's getting it these days. All right, we're continuing to downtick here. We're looking at the 24 area there as the next support level. Quickly rotating down here a little. Got 24 support. See what it wants to do there. That's my backup, Mark. We went down quickly to our settlement price here. And the market continues to kind of be a little bit heavy. I still didn't get down to our 24 area. All right. All right, market's a little bit out. Can we repeat the levels again for us as we come down here to our 24 area? All right, Mark, gonna keep your stops in place no matter what. All right, we're getting a little rotated down. You got to keep your stops in place because you always have to be ready for our next opportunity. If the market gives it to us, you always have to. We don't love any level, and obviously there's a good reason for it. We don't know when there's going to be dynamics in the market that's going to create some volatility, create pushes down here. We're looking at the 18 areas, the next support level. All right, market did kind of push through the 24, and then now we're just going to look at the 18 next level above and below. Again, we don't know when these markets are going to create some volatility. We just know that we can trade the level, and if we get stopped out, that's fine. We're always looking at the next opportunity. Thanks, Peter R. That's a lot of information there for us to take down to Texas. I don't know. If I go down to Texas, I'm going to go down to visit my friend Don and just kind of hang out with him. I'm sure he's got all that stuff. All right, market kind of just hanging down here. It got down to the 20 area. We're looking at 18, the next support level. Maybe it wants to go retest that spike down there. I don't know. Mark said he'd rather stay in Malibu. He's fine with California and all the beautiful beaches. All right, we're just kind of hanging down here on these lows, trying to see what it wants to do. Did double bottom there at the 20 area. And we had 18. We have 18. And then that 12 is that spike on the hourly there that maybe the market is itching to go retest. Bonds kind of also turning over just a little bit, maybe helping us. Well, again, they're up, so I don't know if that's really helping us. They're up a lot. But we try to get some correlation sometimes from the bond market, but it doesn't seem to always, trade that way. So, but definitely some rotation here. Next level of support we have is down at the 18 area. We've gotten down to 19 and change here. So if you're a little worried about the 18, maybe take the bottom end of the level instead. All right, coming down here again, take the, can we repost the levels again for today? There they are. We raced through the 24 pretty fast. Now we're looking at the 18 level here as next support level. Probably do the lower end of the range here. We're trading this level. Yes, we did. All right, getting a nice little rotation here against our 18 level. So that was a nice little pop up here for us against the 18. Should have been able to get them down there. A nice little quick rotation up here off of that level. Again, you keep your stops in, so in case we bought them a little bit higher and you got out, and then you just make you look for the next opportunity. And that's what we got in here. If you bought the top end and you bought the 18 straight up, you should have been okay with it. So a nice little rotation there against that. Again, you got to stay focused and keep your stops in place. Can't get upset because we had to take a loss on one. This is futures trading after all. Now, if you're trying to stay long here, obviously if you have more than one or two contracts, you can probably try to stay long and see if we can get a little bit of a push higher. And that makes up for some of those other losses that we had from the ones from that 24 area. Again, obviously you need to trade multiple contracts, but to be able to do this and scale out. Again, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask, put them in the chat box area. At least we're busy today. Not all perfect, but hey, what are we going to do? This is trading. At least we got some movement. Give us some opportunity. Good and bad. We just never know. All right, nice rotation there off of our 2018 area. Again, if you are trying to stay long, that's great. Just take some profits along the way. If you're trading multiple contracts, if you're taking just your 2 to 3 points, then you did all right with that. Thanks, Robert. Makes up for the 24, which wasn't that exciting. Nice. Well, I'm sure it is. All right, we're trying to rotate back here a little bit. The 18 area was a good little opportunity for us, and then now we're just kind of hanging here. If you're trying to stay long, anything below 20 out of any longs. Well, you got half of it right. Yeah. Well, yeah. Yes and no. It's like cloudy. I think it wants to rain, but you never know. A good target would probably be around the 28 area. Obviously, the 5.5 here is our settlement price, which might be another intermittent little area there of target to get out of any longs if you're still trying to stay long from down there. Again, just have a trailing stop. We said anything below 20. You want to get out of any longs. That's where your stop would be if you're trying to have a trailing stop and trying to get the upper levels. Again, you're not also going to let 3 or 4 points go away unless you're just keeping it for a small amount. So All right, we did get right up to that settlement price there and then bouncing off here a little bit. 25.5 area there. Got right up to it and the button did come off. And that is usually a little area of inflection that we like to look at. Some of us do. No, I take it back. So I think what happened at 5:30 was that there was a report about some of these internet companies that were losing some sort of login incapacity or something. I don't know, something to that effect. And that's why the market tanked there for a little bit, but then everything got, the bonds rallied and everything got kind of figured out with those companies. I don't know what happened, but it was early this morning that I heard in regards to some of these, like Google and Amazon were having computer issues, but then they rectified it really fast. And that's what happened there. All right, we're just kind of, well, now if you're long anything below 22, want to be out of any longs and then just kind of be flat here. And if that happens, hey, Valerie, like I said, you can just ask any question you like. Or comment. You can just put them in the chat box area. Anybody has anything to say or add or like to say something, just put it in the chat box area. No problem. All right, just kind of flat now, just kind of seeing what spit it out. Don't really have any opinion. A little resistance would be around the 28 to 29 area. All right, things are a little bit quiet here as the market just kind of bouncing around here. Found its little range to bounce in at the 5.5 area there on the top side, which we consider a little bit of resistance, and then now we're just kind of floating in this little range from that 22 to 25 area. So kind of quiet. And good time to just be patient and wait. And support level on the downside we have is 18, and a little resistance around the 28 to 29 area. That's a great answer. That's a good question. The question is, in trading, why do people make the same mistakes over and over and over and over and over again? It's human nature, right? I mean, this is what we're trying to teach you here: is to be able to fight your natural instinct to do something when you see something happening, right? Especially in trading, sometimes you just feel like if you're buying the market and the market keeps going down, you're like, well, if you bought tens, you know, it's down to eight. Eight should be really good, right? If you bought eights and it's down to five, well, I mean, if you like the eights, you got to like the five, right? So it's a mental thing. So it's like, you know, you have this like mental gap sometimes that is created when you're trading because your mind and your is telling you one thing and your trading is telling you another. And to be able to connect the two and to say, okay, I give up. You're right, I'm wrong. It's tough to do sometimes. So, I think it's like a part of human nature than anything else, more than anything else, I should say. And I just don't know if there's a right or wrong answers to that, but that is sometimes how and you're not really thinking about it when you're doing it. You're just doing it because you feel like, oh, this should work. Because I mean, I think I should have some support here, but it's going through it like so easily, or some resistance. And well, if I'm going to sell the tens, well, I should love to sell the 15s. Something towards the kind of. So you're fighting your mental capacity to think straight versus the ability to watch what's going on the screen and do the right thing instead of adding on, getting out. And then you always see, and this is indicative of a good trader, by the way. You always see, like, if there always used to be an adage on the floor that said that if you're a good scalper, which is what we're trying to do, you're always going to buy the high and sell the low. All right, think about it. If you're a good scalper, you're always going to buy the high and sell the low, which means basically you're disciplined and you kept your discipline in place. So even though you bought the high, that means you're getting out of a short and the market went down, fine. You can't, do all about it. You just got to move on to the next trade. So there are rules, and then there are rules, and then there's how you deal with them. So I don't know. That helped at all? No. But I do understand what you're saying when you say we keep making the same mistakes over and over again. Because it does happen. And then at the end of the day, you're like, did I just do that again? Yes, you did. And the thing about trading on the screen is that you know what your mistakes are because, I could always blame when I was trading on the floor. I can always blame it on somebody else. I got stuck in this trade. I had no choice. Really, even on the floor, you had choices. It's just a matter of how you dealt with them. So. Again, kind of a quiet day. We had a little bit busy this morning, but now we've definitely tightened up the reins here a little bit and got ourselves on a little bit of a range. And we're flat right now. We got support down at around the 12 area, and next resistance area is up at the about 28, 29, 28, 29 area. All right, we're just kind of hanging down here on the lows. 12 down is the next support level. And the market kind of took a little bit of energy out after they flushed it down there a little bit after the morning. Not well. Not really. It all depends. I mean, look, we are. If 20 is the 200-day moving average, then we've been here for a very long time, right? So, and we're on their highs. So kind of hard to say we're at a 200-day moving average when we're at 20, unless we've been here for a very long time, which we have been. But I mean, considering we opened up at all-time highs and then broke off here a little bit, not too surprising. But I don't know. I don't think there's anything meaningful. Not at this point. Not the way the market's trading. And the VIX is down to 16.06. So it's also telling you that it's really not that much volatility going on here. We just seem to be slowly getting to a new level of 17.06.08. So, okay, got corrected there. Yeah, so bigger picture, I guess that's what you're asking me. I don't think it's a big deal. Not at this point, anyway. Can we repeat the levels in the chat for some of our, in case you missed them or coming in a little bit late? Oh, Don, could you repeat the levels in our chat for us? There they are. I think he went to look for his headset or something. All right, just they really pulled the plug on this one quick. So we'll see what it wants to do. soon as you said that, Don, look what happened. All right, Don, good job. Well, like I said, they definitely pulled the plug here on the trade, but we'll see what it wants to do. Patience is important. Waiting for the opportunities to present themselves is important. And this is what happens in our summer months. You get a little activity and you think something's going to happen, and then they just kind of pull the plug on us. All right, like I said, they kind of pulled the plug here a little bit. Going nowhere fast, but hey, man, what are you gonna do? It is what it is. Take care there. Take care, Paul. All right, we're just kind of going nowhere fast. Resistance around 20, 29 area. Anything above 30 out of any shorts, and kind of just hanging here. All right, well, we'll get back here in a little bit. Let's see what happens. Support on the 12 on the downside, and below that 07. And if I can give you a couple more numbers, 01 and then 92 on the downside. Below 07, if we decide to break down. So we have 12, 07, 01, and then 92. And the upside, we have those levels. We also have resistance. Well, now I would say 27 to 28, anything above 29 out of any shorts. And kind of just see what the market wants to do. It's inching a little bit lower for a time being, but just basically getting in the bottom end of our range that we've been at for most of the morning here once we broke down. So there we go. Those are the added levels that we have that we gave out this morning, and they're there. I don't know if anything's going to happen, but just in case, there was a global internet issue that occurred at that 5:30 mark. That's what the S&P's tanked, and the bonds initially rallied, and then they quickly, once they would resolve that problem, came back really fast, opened up at all-time highs, and then kind of sold off. And now we're just kind of hanging here. All right, we'll see what happens. Just be patient and keep your stops in place. I'll be here for a little bit longer, but it's hard to keep talking when there's not much to talk about except for the same range game we've been at here for the last good hour or so. All right, get back here in a bit. You too there, Mark.
Hey, a couple quick programming notes. Hey, Alistair, how you making out? Bill B, same. Let us know back in chat. Hey, Dave B. Use the chat feature. Let me know that you are there and in front of your screen. Julia, welcome. Julia, I think you've been in before, right? So let me know back in chat. Hey, Kurt H. Kurt G. Hey, Roop. Hey, Carlo. Tim S., let me know a good time to catch up with you. Hey, Fred. Ian. Hey, that's a great question. We had a question about Saul's course and his mentoring work. For those that are part of Saul's friends and family, if you're interested in taking the next steps and you're interested in having Saul take you under his wing and teach you his methodology personally and privately, he has a small group of individuals that he works with in that course environment. It looks to keep it to 6 or less at a time. He's got a nice group in there now. So if you're interested in finding out more information about it, raise your hand and we can set up a time to talk. If you haven't signed up for Saul's Friends and Family, take a moment to raise your hand now also, and I'll send out the information to you. It's an opportunity to sign up at a discount.